So this was our last step, and pause the video and see if you can get it down to its final answer. Don't forget to take your vitamin C. So hopefully you've gotten this far, and now remember you have to go back and change the u's back into x's by looking at what you substituted for u. And remember, we let u equal the stuff inside the radical. So now I'm going to take the u out and put that stuff back in, and it will look like this. So if you got this all correct and you didn't make any math mistakes, I want you to give yourself a high five right now. I am going to give myself a high five. Ah! Now on this next one, do you see anything that fits the descriptions that I gave up above? Any quantity to a power, any quantity inside of a radical. Ooh, aha! I see it. So that's what I'm going to let u equal. And remember, I'm going to have to change the dx. So let's just take the derivative of this guy while we're right here. And if I get du by itself, it'll equal dx. Ooh, hey, I have a dx. Looks like he's going to get replaced. So now it's going to look like, so far, this. And I bet you didn't even notice this little hocus pocus magic. Remember, I was letting u equal x plus 1. So that means I'm going to be replacing this and this, which is exactly what I did down here. And of course I put the du in for the dx. So the only issue that I have right now is, what's that x doing in there? So I'm going to have to go back over to my substitution and then reverse solve it for x. So of course I'll subtract 1 from both sides, and then I'll divide by -1, which will negate everything. Well, I guess I didn't have to do that. I could have just put it in and put some parentheses around it. So either way, if I had put it in and put some parentheses around it and then distributed the negative, it's going to look like this. And then I say, Houston, we have a problem, because I can't split the numerator when there's 2 parts to the denominator. So I have to figure out how to clean up this fractions act. And so one way is I look and say, not really supposed to have radicals in the denominator, so how could I get rid of that? Ooh, I hope you said the conjugate, because you would be right. So I'm going to clean up this fractions act by multiplying by the conjugate. And remember, I have to do it on top and bottom so that I don't change the value of my fraction. All right, let's see what this gives us. So I'm only going to multiply out the bottom. I'm going to leave the top exactly as it looks right now, which is in factored form, because really it's that bottom that needs to be fixed up, since I'm not supposed to have roots in the denominator. And then I say, ooh, well, I could simplify that and maybe get something to cancel out if I factor the bottom. So of course I notice that these two are looking very similar except for the sign. And I could change the sign on this top one if I took the negative out. And so of course it's going to look like this. And then I get super excited because I go, hey, I can start canceling these out, which leaves me with a single term on bottom. And now I'll be able to separate the numerator. So it's going to look like this. And notice I took that negative that was here and I just brought it out to the front. So now I can simplify and I get this, and now I'm ready to integrate.